everyone, and welcome to this week's guitar lesson on everything you need to know to play with a little help from my friends. First off, there is reason to believe that there may be two guitars in the verse, and that's a bit of a rabbit hole, so I'll be discussing that at the end of the video. Let's jump right to the intro of this song. The first step to playing the intro properly is to be aware of the picking and accent pattern. George is playing triplets while accenting every third note. So when you're playing this intro, you'll be playing those notes louder. Just like that. On the first chord, the upstrokes are the open E string, then the B string twice on the 9th fret. That looks like this. The next two chords are the same shape and open string pattern. That's open string, B string, open string. And again for the next chord. Now, the tricky part for the 4th chord is that you're no longer playing a single note on this B looking chord. You're playing the G and B string at the same time, then the open E string alone, with the same accent pattern. Now here's the whole riff together. Now don't forget to slide on that 3rd chord. And then you're straight into the verse. The first chord a lot of people play as an open E chord, so I wanted to quickly show you why I chose to play an E over G sharp. And it's the second note right here. You can hear there's a low G in it. You can hear It doesn't happen on this first one, but quite clearly here, you hear it. And then again, really heavily here, we hear that low G sharp. Especially these two notes. So I've highlighted them for you. George loved these type of chords, and you can see him using these slash chords all the way back to the early days on songs such as I Saw Her Standing There, There's a Place, Till There Was You, From Me to You, It Won't Be Long, All My Loving, and a whole bunch more throughout the years. Alright, so let's get back to the rest of the verse. So right there is where George switches from playing the low F sharp down here up to a higher F sharp. Right there. Up to the higher B, and then we're in the chorus. He plays the same shape, just like that, moving it around. You can hear a lot of sliding in the track. Then you have a double hit here in the A. Now let's check out that lead guitar. It's a pretty simple double stop thing here. It's just those. And then open B string and 2nd fret on the E string. And you're going to want to play that with some aggression, especially if you're playing live in a band. You're going to want to play the rest of the verse really quietly, because a mixing guy is just going to turn you down if you're playing. No one's going to be able to hear the singer sing the song, so you want to focus on laying behind the mix. Just play with a light touch. And on that rhythm part, I played the low B, so I'm playing 7, 7, 9, 9. Get a little bit extra chunkiness in there. When you can play lower notes, why not? It fattens up that chord. That's what they sound like together. Again, now we're starting in a different inversion. Let's go back to the isolated guitar that George originally played for that part. Now you can hear, right there, the low B. It's no longer this G sharp. He's up here now. And then right there, when he's playing this F sharp minor, now he's lifting up this top note and giving himself an F sharp minor 7, like this. And then switching back to the pattern that he was doing in the first verse, you know, back to this G sharp inversion. So let's continue on our journey. We're in the second verse. Again, go up here, just like the first verse. Okay, now we have our first little riff, and another reason this really can't be two guitars is because of all these riffs. To play this riff, it's just 9 to 11 on the A string. And then the tricky part, I think you're gonna wanna have your thumb on the 9th fret, and then play 9th fret on the next 4 strings. With your thumb here, playing this. There's other ways to play that. Whatever is comfortable for you. For me, the thumb felt right because it's right there. I'm not sure if George would have done that, but I do hear this low note, loud and proud. And then, you know, back to the chorus part. So we're getting a bit fancier here now. Another one of those. This one is a bit different because you do hear the A string and it's not skipping that. We got these two now, instead of... And then another quick riff there on the A7. He's lifting up the root now to play an A7. Right before going back to the E. So you're hammering on that 4 to 5, frets 5 to 7. 2, 3. And now we're into the bridge. And before we let it play, I want to point out that the chord is 4, 4, 6, 6, 4, 4 for the first one. Not sure if this is a mistake or not, but it's kind of cool. Let's listen. Do, do. So you can hear that happening in there. Let it ring. So you heard one flat 7th in there this time. Let's go back. This one's pretty similar to the second verse. Everything's the same so far. And then we have a mistake there, skipping the B. And I noticed a little of that 2. So if you're on E, this F sharp would be the 2. Da, da, da. Let's listen to George. There's that low G sharp. You hear that right there? This is the 1. Da, da. It's got a little bit of an F sharp in there on the A string. Bum bum. Another A7 there. Two of them there. Right there, I heard him doing some low bass notes, a B over a D. But let's listen to George so we can confirm that one as well. Here it comes. You hear that? Ha, na, da, 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 da. So let's finish out this cover here. Nice hammer on. Playing the mess up. Let's hear that hammer on that A. We want to make sure we're getting that. Oh, that's what I had as the mess up. It sounds like it kind of didn't hit the string right. And that is the whole cover. Next, let's look at why I think this is just one guitar and not two guitars. There are only two overdub sessions. The first was done live with Paul on piano, George on guitar, John on cowbell, Ringo on drums. The next overdub, Paul on bass, Ringo on tambourine, George on the lead guitar again. But when he's on this lead guitar for this overdub, it is possible that throughout the rest of this track when he's doing that overdub, he's playing some more stuff. So maybe that's why you guys might be hearing another guitar. But the reason I don't think it's prominent in playing every single note throughout the entire rhythm part is because of those riffs, and there would just be more discrepancies between the two. When one's doing, you're gonna hear the other one still doing the stabs or something. They're not gonna always be exactly the same because a lot of this is spontaneous playing and it's not written out. So it wouldn't be the same every single time. And then one of the reasons for it being two guitars is, check this out. You got this note here, 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 and here, and you see this one and this one are the same volumes. They're louder. They look more similar in wave pattern than these two. So if I were to do this on two guitars, what I would do is I would have one guitar play all four notes and one guitar just do half on the twos and fours, like this. Because that's what it kind of sounds like. Single guitar, two guitars, single guitar, two guitars. Check it out. And you can just see visually, thin, thick, thin, thick, thin, thick, thin, thick, thick, and that's where it starts to look like it's playing more. And it gets more confusing as you analyze further, and you just never really hear two guitar parts besides that. But nowhere else do I hear two guitars. It all sounds the same. And right there, it actually sounds like a cut. The guitar, you can see this note looks funny, so that might be why it sounds like a cut, and it's actually not. It could just be a mistake, but it just looks so much different, and the tone and timbre, everything changes once it gets to that note. You still have the same amount of drum bleed though, so it doesn't seem like. So that's what I think. I don't hear two guitars anywhere else. So let me know if there's anything else you guys want to know about the guitar part to With a Little Help from My Friends. It's not a super guitar heavy song. It's mostly piano. If you don't have a piano, you're just going to be playing all that on the guitar. This is what I played on the piano. It's an A minor 7, but the bass is playing a C. Da 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 da. And then we have this. That looks like a D7? D7 add 2. So that's what your intro is going to look like on guitar. A 1, 2, 3. An easier way to play that might just be play like a C6 down here. Would be to play something like this. The easiest way would just be to bar, which is going to set you up for that riff there. But if you want to play a bit more accurate to the chords, you can play this D7 with a 2 up top, open E. And then your are set up for that intro. And then again at the end. Yes, I get by with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my friends. And you can play along with the rest of the band that way. Alright, that's it for this lesson. Let me know if you guys want to hear anything else. Thanks for joining me. See you later.